Good afternoon, everybody. I hope all of you physically healthy and mentally happy. So before we start our Dharma class, as usual, please cultivate the pure motivation. So motivation for achieving the Buddhahood to benefit all sentient beings. In order to be Buddha, so we need to practice the two important practices. The first, the conventional bodhicitta. The second is the ultimate bodhicitta. These two bodhicittas look like two wings to fly from samsara to Buddhahood. Within the two bodhicitta, as ordinary beings, first we need to cultivate the conventional bodhicitta. The mind, which is wished to be Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. The cultivating conventional bodhicitta is very much dependent on practicing the four immeasurables, particularly the great love and compassion. Therefore, please visualize all sentient beings around us. When we look at from the two point of views, the physical point of views, me and all sentient beings equally same. All sentient beings have the physical body, which is the dukkha. The physical body, the dukkha, arise from afflictive emotions caused by karma, then ignorance. When we look at the desire point of view, all sentient beings and we equally wish to be happy, always want happiness, don't want suffering at all. From that point of view, so we can equally cultivate great love and compassion towards all sentient beings. Please generate the pure love and compassion towards all sentient beings. Then cultivate the conventional bodhicitta. If we only practice the conventional bodhicitta, not the ultimate bodhicitta, then we cannot cut, so we cannot get rid of the root of the samsara, the root of the sufferings, which is ignorance. Therefore, first we need to recognize the mind, which is the root to arise all kinds of afflictive emotions, include the karmas. In order to recognize ignorance, first we need to know how the ignorance absorb, apprehend the object. So today, we try to understand the meaning of ignorance based on our daily experience. So we are not, just talking about the ignorance, which is mainly influenced by different tenets. So we are talking about here the ignorance, which is the innate ignorance, which is all sentient beings has the ignorance. So therefore, first we need to analyze how things appear to us, perceived to us. Right? Step number one, all the conditioned phenomena. The phenomena which is arise from the causes and condition. All the conditioned phenomena are impermanent. The meaning of impermanence is not, we are not talking about the gross impermanent. We are talking about the subtle impermanence. All the conditioned phenomena are changing momentarily. All phenomena, all the conditioned phenomena, the nature is a momentary. They cannot last. None of the conditioned phenomena cannot last more than one moment. But for us, all the conditioned phenomena almost same. The phenomena which you saw in the morning, we think, oh, the same phenomena I can see now. The phenomena which is seeing now, it wasn't exist in the morning. The conditioned phenomena which we saw in the morning, it is not exist now. But for us, all the conditioned phenomena exist almost same way. Therefore, we don't know how thing exists, how thing perceives to us. This is how we have ignorance about the conditioned phenomena. Right? Second, we need to reflect, we need to think about the innate ignorance. For us, when we look at our own, when we look at any of the phenomena around us, for us, they exist by their own side, exist by their own. The phenomena which is perceived to us, for us, based on our experience, based on the daily experience, thing exists inherently. But in the reality, nothing exists. Nothing can be exist inherently. But when the ignorance perceive the phenomena, everything look like the independent existence. In the reality is opposite. Right? So due to the ignorance, even though the sound which is perceived to the air consciousness, for us, the sound is independent, permanent, singleness. So we are mistaking about the sound. So here now just we use the same example for everybody. So first we use the chariot. Let's say a car. Now everybody reflect on a car. Just think about a car. When we imagine, so when we think about a car, for us, the car means something there as an independent car. Right? How car appear to our eyes consciousness? How the car appears to our mind? The car appear to us as an independent car. This is how the ignorance apprehend the phenomenon. In the reality, the car which appear to our eyes consciousness, appear to us, is totally empty of independent existent car. For us, the car is look like independent existent car. In the reality, is totally opposite. Okay, now everybody, just think about a car in front of us, in front of you. Yes, for us, the car look like exists from the object, from the basis side. So this is what we name object of negation. Object of negation. So we are not negating, we cannot negate the car. So we need to negate the independent, inherent, ultimate car, not the car. Now everybody try to distinguish the merely designated car and the the independent existent car. So next few minutes, you try to, separate, try to make it separate the merely the designated car and the independent car. Please reflect on the differences, these two cars. Okay, now I can, make an assumption about your experience, your idea about the true cars, so which is the merely the designated car and the car which exists independently or independent existent car. One exists as the conventional phenomena. One is not exist, but we need to negate in order to realize the truth, nature, in order to realize the reality of the car. Clear? So this is so important. You must distinguish the merely the designated car and independent existent car. The first one, which is merely designated car, is an existent phenomena. It is a conventional phenomena. It's a conventional car. The second is, which is the independent existent car, is a not existent phenomena. We name the object of negation. So we need to negate the negation based on the car. Based on the car. Clear? So here what does mean negate? Here negate, the negation mean the car, the reality car, the conventional car is there, but the car is not exist independently. So you need to negate, you need to deny the car exists independently. So negation means the car itself, the conventional phenomena car, you need to negate as an independent existent car. So based on the car, you need to deny, you need to negate the negation, which is the independent existent car. Clear? So when we try to negate the independent existent car, then we cannot establish merely the designated car. So when we try to establish, try to posit the merely designated car, at the same time, we establish the independent car. So we are confused between these two phenomena, which is the merely designated car and independent car. Independent car and merely designated car. Right? So related to this context, so last time we studied a few words from the Recognizing the Mother. So we continuously read few sentences. First, make sure you got the point. But first, the suffering, the samsara, arised merely because of the ignorance. Ignorance causes afflictive emotions. Afflictive emotion cause karma. Then these three together arise samsara and suffering. We need to recognize ignorance is the root to arise samsara and suffering. In order to recognize ignorance, we need to know a few things. So we need to realize, we have a lot of the misperception about the phenomena. For example, the conditioned phenomena, in all conditioned phenomena are impermanent. They have a very subtle kind of nature of impermanent, but we haven't realized it. Because all the conditioned phenomena is changing momentarily. These are momentary nature, only one moment. Just one moment. The second moment is the moment of the second moment phenomena. The first moment phenomena has changed, no more exist. For example, we can use the time. You just watch you watch the watch. You look at the watch, the timing, because every moment, the number is changing. Every second, every moment, you cannot really, stay there. Therefore, all conditioned phenomena are like it's a moving momentarily, changing momentarily, but he haven't realized it. Second, when the phenomena appear to us, things appear to us as an independent phenomena, independent car, independent house, independent father and mother. This is how ignorance causes us to perceive things as independent. In the reality, none of the phenomena can exist independently, inherently, ultimately, essentially. Right? So all phenomena are empty of inherent existence, empty of essentially existence. But we haven't realized yet. Right? Then, why, how all phenomena cannot be independent existent? Why, how? Then we use, the chariot or car as an analogy to realize, for realizing none of the phenomena exist independently. Then the car actually exists merely designated, the designated phenomena. Mean we just, label, we just give a name as a car. When you look at from the object, the cars, when you look at from the car point of view, from the object side, none of the parts, any parts of the car cannot be car. Right? The wheels are part of the car, but those are not a car. The body of the car is also part of the car. It's not a car. The car is not a part of the any of the part of the body. The car is not the wheel. The car is not the body. The car is not the steering. But without them, also we cannot establish car. Without any of the parts, we cannot say, we cannot establish this is a car. Right? Car. So you need to know the main point, how to recognize ignorance, how things exist, how things appear to us, is there so totally different. So how things actually, exist. So last time we read the few sentences from the recognizing the mother. Mother here referred to the emptiness. Right? Also, emptiness, the wisdom is being named mother. Bodhicitta, we named a mother. Sorry, Bodhicitta, we named father. The wisdom which realizes emptiness, we named mother. Mother, right? So why we named emptiness as a mother? Mother is the most important, like a person to, giving, birth for the children. All children, give actually born from our mother. This is an analogy. Therefore, all phenomena are on us. Everything arises, established within the emptiness. Without emptiness, we cannot establish any phenomena. Without emptiness, nothing can be arised. So emptiness we name as a mother. Therefore, recognizing the mother. The second line, this helpless child who lost his old mother so long ago. That means we are, or our mind is totally kind of helpless child. Means the child was seeking something, asking something, looking something, but nobody can really give any help for the child. That means our mind, try to understand emptiness. So far, we are become helpless. We cannot recognize emptiness. Therefore, this helpless child who lost his old mother so long ago. Make sure the old mother. What does it mean? Mean you, your mind, me and my mind, always with the mind, always with the emptiness of the mind. We've been together for so many years, but we haven't recognized. Therefore, old mother, so long ago, is about to realize constantly what he has not recognized, that she has been with him all along. Actually, emptiness is there. Emptiness of your mind is always there. Emptiness of our body is always there. The problem here, we cannot recognize. We recognize our body. We recognize our mind. But we cannot recognize emptiness of our mind, emptiness of our body. And therefore, he said last sentence, this has been with him all along. What he has not recognized. That means the mind, cannot recognize. Emptiness is there, but the mind cannot recognize. She is perhaps that one that is and is not. So, Sangye Ronpa Dorje, who composed this text, he was saying, emptiness is look like is or isn't. The first sentence here, she is, means the emptiness is perhaps the one that is and is not. So this is a very interesting, the words line. Based on our, study right now, we analyze about the car. First, we look at the body. Definitely, the car's body is not a car. Not a car. So we apart, the car's body. Now we can see the chairs and the string, the gear, all the things. We can see all of them. So when we look at it closely, none of the parts, the chair, the steering, the gear, none of our car. So we separate them. Now we study about the four wheels, the four wheels. Definitely, any of the four wheels, not a car. Or a car. Then suddenly we feel, oh, there's not such as car. Oh, this may be emptiness. Is it? Also, we are mistaken. Because through our study, when you feel the car is not there, there's no such as car. That means our mind, our view already fall into extreme, one of the extreme, which is nihilism. Extreme. Then we cannot accept, oh, there's no car, there's no sun, no moon, no water. How we can, we can say? So we are denying, we're denying the conventional phenomena. So if you think there's no car, no sun and moon, then you need to, omit. There's not me. There's not my mind. So it doesn't make sense. Right? Then we thought, no, it cannot be. The car must be there. Right? The car must be there. There's a car. Then how the car exists again? So when you analyze, based on the car, do the analytical meditation, sometimes we feel there's no car. That means, so we don't know how to establish the car. We think, we believe innately, we believe car means something must be there. We can say, this is the car. Among the parts of the car, this must be car. We believe that. Not only, most of the tenets, the four, Buddhist philosophical proponents, they also believe car means there's something must be there. So also we are mistaken. So that means so I told you in the many times, in order to realize emptiness, we no need to study for many books, so many years. So we use one object, think about how the phenomena exist. For example, chariot, for example, car, right? Therefore, what do you say? She is perhaps the one that is and is not. The second line, as told to me quietly by my brother, the dependent arising. So we haven't recognized the emptiness. Emptiness is always with us for many years. Now there's a chance. There's a very important opportunity to recognize emptiness through, the brother, which is dependent arising. As told to me quietly by my brother, the dependent arising. Quietly means, so we must recognize, we must realize emptiness using the logic which is dependent arising. Dependent arising. The thing arises dependently means nothing exists independently. Exist independently, exist dependently is a kind of contradict each other. For example, this marker pen, if it exists independently, then definitely it cannot be, dependent phenomena. If this is dependent phenomena, it cannot be independent phenomena, right? So you can see the contradiction between the independent existence and dependent existence. So use the logics, which is dependent arising, arising dependently, establish dependently, function dependently. Right? The phenomena has a function. The function exists dependently means it doesn't have an independent function. That means the phenomena is empty of independent function. It doesn't have an independent function. Right? Therefore, quietly, told me quietly by my brother, the dependent arising. The diverse subject-object duality is my mother bearing, smile. Subject-object means all the minds refer to the subject. The rest of the other phenomena, except the mind, refer to the object. Object, subject, whatever, everything exists within the emptiness. Therefore, he said, subject-object duality is my mother's feelings, smile. Mean, when you say somebody smile to you, this is the expression of the person. Expression of the person, smile. When the person show you angry face, the angry face is an expression of the person. Right? That means the object, subject, whatever, all the conventional phenomena are manifest, arise within the emptiness. Therefore here, the diverse subject-object duality is my mother beings, smile. Then the cycle of birth and death her deceptive words. That means cycle of birth and death. Right? Death. These are there. That's in samsaric, arising, decay, birth, death. Things are there, but there's not there as a truly existent. Truly existent. Therefore, the cycle of birth and death, her deceived words, mean those are not truth. Those are conventional phenomena. Those are not ultimate phenomena. Therefore deceived. Then sentence number 4. Oh my undeceived mother. Mother referred to the emptiness. Emptiness is like a mother, not just mother. The emptiness is undeceived phenomena. Undeceived phenomena. Right? Therefore, oh my undeceived mother, you have bettered me. So I hope to be saved by my brother, the dependent arising. What does it mean, undeceived mother? Deceive means perceiving and exists as a two different kind of, aspects. For us, for example, when we look at the pen, it appears as a independent. Reality, it is, dependent. Appear to us as an independent, reality is dependent. So you can see there's a two different aspects. Appear in a different way, exist in another way. Therefore, those are the deceit or phenomena, not, ultimate truth. Emptiness called, undeceived. So through study, through analysis, when you recognize, when you realize emptiness, then the nature is always same, appearing, and the reality is the same aspect. The conventional phenomena has always two aspects, or the being who haven't realized emptiness. Therefore, called deceit, undeceived and deceit. All the conventional phenomena, they are called the deceit phenomena. And the ultimate emptiness we call undeceived, because it doesn't have a duality. So I hope to be safe. Mean, we are really wish to free from suffering, wish to be, wish to achieve ultimate happiness. This is our desire. So we have a very strong intention, strong desire to achieve ultimate happiness, free from suffering. So this is what we have a desire about. Then, can we achieve ultimate happiness or no? Can we be saved or no? Then, yes. I hope to be saved by my brother, which is dependent arising. Dependent arising. So when we really realize, fully understood, the dependent arising, then we're going to realize emptiness. When we realize emptiness, we can stop arising ignorance. Right? When ignorance stops, then the rest of the afflicted emotion going to stop. Here, can you remember all the individual, the antidotes are antidotes for individually all the emotions. The Buddha, which is taught antidotes for ignorance, is the antidote for rest of the afflicted emotions. Therefore, so I hope to be saved by my brother, the dependent arising. Right? Then again, yet it is ultimately through your kinds alone. That means in order to free from suffering, in order to achieve the ultimate, the lasting happiness, it is only kind through the mother, which is emptiness. Yes, it is ultimately through your kindness alone, O Mother, that I can hope to be free. Free. Right? So many of us, you also, so because it's sometimes, it's a very, sometimes feel, a bit upset about when we think about our daily practice. So many of us, or maybe everybody follow the Dharma as a culture. Oh, my parent did this, I'm doing this. I'm doing this, my child must do like this. We just look like follow Buddha teaching as a culture. When we think we follow Buddha Dharma as a culture, as a tradition, then definitely there's no hope. We can be saved, we can be free from suffering, we can achieve happiness, ultimate happiness. Cannot. So we should not follow Dharma as a culture, as a tradition. Number one. Number two, so when we think about our daily practice, or when we think about our belief in karma, believe in next life, believe in achieving Buddhahood. We just believe next life, previous life, karma, Buddhahood, Bodhisattva, pure land, as a kind of very ignorant person, blind person. We are very, blind person. Because we don't follow, we don't, really believe next life, previous life, or Buddhahood based on solid logics and reasoning. When we think, oh, I'm a, blind Buddhist, mean you believe so many things. You don't have a solid logics and reasoning. So we really have to free from these two. Should not follow Buddhism as a culture. Should not believe Buddhism as a, accept as a totally based on the blind faith. Use logics and reasoning. Then there's a hope. We will realize emptiness. If we realize emptiness, definitely we can be free from suffering. We can achieve Buddhahood. Here are the logics. Because emptiness is a, empty of independent existence. Ignorance apprehends all phenomena as an independent phenomena. Therefore, based on ignorance, that we have attachment, anger, hatred, all the negative thoughts arise. Right? Therefore, here what is said, Sanjay Doji said, yes, it is ultimately through your kindness alone. If you really want to be free from suffering, if you really want to achieve, ultimate happiness, emptiness is the most important to realize. Otherwise, we always be, blind. Then next, the line, paragraph number 5. If subject-object duality is as the seems to be, then not even the Buddhas of the all three times can save us. Right? Now you're talking about the negation. If subject, the minds, doesn't matter negative, positive, doesn't matter the minds, subject, object, rest of the phenomena. Duality is as they seem to be. If they are, they are a reality, in the reality they are same as what we believe. In the reality they exist as appear to us, then nobody can save us from the samsara. If subject-object duality is as they seem to be, then not even the Buddhas of all three times can save us. Cannot. That means if the things, exist independently, not dependently, independently, inherently, Buddha cannot save us from samsara. We cannot be Buddha. Right? We cannot. Because think that all phenomena exist independently, then that cannot be changed. Cannot really, develop, qualities, cannot degenerate the bad qualities. The bad quality exists independent, cannot be changed. So dependent arising is a very important, kind of matter to know. If things exist independently, we cannot we cannot be free from suffering. We cannot, develop good qualities because nothing can be changed. Because things as a independent. If subject-object duality is as they seem to be, then not even the Buddhas of all three times can save us. But this diversity of changes, it is reality, my unchanging mother expression. Right? But things are not independence. Things are independent. But then nothing can be changed. But in the reality, all phenomena are dependent on causes, condition, dependent on parts, and then all a whole. Therefore, everything can be changed. So here, what we need to know, for example, this morning, this afternoon, when you think about the weather cannot be same. Morning was very cooling, afternoon is hot, evening bit cool. This means the weather is changing within 24 hours. Why the weather is, changing within the 24 hours? Because the weather is depend on many causes condition. Like us, most of us over 50. So every day, our life is changing. Our life, our body cannot be same all the time. It's changing. 1 year's boy, girls become 2 years old. Or 2 years old boys, girls become like 3 years old. It's changing because it depends on cause and condition. Those are, dependent phenomena, not independent. Therefore, everything is changing. Also suffering. Right now we have a suffering. The suffering can be changed because the suffering depend on causes and condition. The causes and condition change, then the suffering can be changed. Right? Therefore, here, but this the diversity of changes. Why? Is in the reality my mother, it is reality my unchanging mother expression. Emptiness is unchanging. All the phenomena, all the conventional phenomena are changing phenomena. That means all the conventional phenomena are expression of unchanging mothers. Mean all the conventional phenomena is arise, exists, within the emptiness. So emptiness look like big magician. The magician produce so many different kind of magics. So emptiness is look like big magician. All the conventional phenomena arise within the emptiness. Also, you should not think emptiness is look like kind of big, like a machine can produce so many things. No, what does mean? Expression mean thing nature is empty of inherent. Therefore, things need to depend on some others. Right? Others. Thing need to depend on other because in reality, the nature is empty. Therefore, is in the reality my mother, my unchanging mother expression. Here, if you really don't understand, very simply, every day you should think the phenomena around us, around me, is arising within the emptiness. Emptiness, right? How things arise from emptiness? Because all phenomena, the nature is empty of inherent existence. Therefore, whatever appears to me is dependent on causes condition. You just think that way, that means your mind, much closer to realize emptiness. The next one here, the sentence number 6. Stanza number 6. Things not established objectively is the unexpressible mother. The mutual dependency is the play of the deception. Just merely this is how we should understand. Therefore, things are not established objectively. Again, is linked with the negation. Objectively. Right? Again, based on the car, we just think how the car exists. Established. established independently or dependently, exist objectively or not. No. The things that are established exist subjectively. Right? So in order to know how the phenomena establish, exist, arise subjectively, then now you need to know the coil, rope as a snake. The coil rope as a snake. So that the rope, the ROP rope, the rope has a multicolors, look like, colorful. And the manner, the shape is look like coil, look like snake, coil. Then the area where the rope is quite dark. Just imagine there's a colorful rope. The manner or shape look like a coil. Then the area is quite dark. So when you walk in towards the area, suddenly you can see things. You can see, oh, there's a snake. There's a snake. Then you scared. You scared. Right? You scared. Same way, again, there's a fact, like a bunch of dollar, fact, like a bunch of dollar. Again, the area is quite dark. You cannot see very clearly. But you see there's a one bundle of like dollar. You feel so happy. When you touch, you feel so happy. When you touch snake, you feel so scared. Right? In the reality, when you check the one bundle kind of bunch of dollar, when you check one by one, each of them is a fact, is not real. When you check closely to the coil rope, you cannot find there's a snake. So before you have a concept of snake based on the rope, you have a concept of the real like a money based on the fake dollar. Right? So before you analyze, you really scared, you scared about the snake. You have a concept of snake. You believe there's a snake. So that moment, you designate it. You designated the rope as a snake. You designated, the bunch of dollar, the fake dollar as a real dollar. Clear? Red dollar. Then when you go closer to the like a snake, finally you notice there's no such a snake. There's no such a like dollar. This is analogy, right? Then we just imputed snake, piece of the rope. Any parts of the rope, color, there's no snake. There's no snake. Now we think about the self-grasping. Self-grasping, the grasping of the phenomena. Grasping of the self-grasping, me and my. First, now everybody just imagine, you are meeting someone. You are waiting for someone at the MRT. You are waiting for someone. Yes, after a few minutes, so someone, the person is coming towards you, whom you are waiting for. The person is coming. When you see the face, you say, oh, the person is coming. So you designated the person body as a person, right? So now you analyze all parts of the body. Head is the person? No. Exactly now you can find when you, designated the body as a person, you are mistaken. Without the body of the person, also you cannot establish the person. Without the mind, other four aggregates, distinct from the four aggregates, you cannot really establish the person. The person is not the five aggregates. Any of the five aggregates are not the person. Without the five aggregates, you cannot establish person. So then again, the CHARIOT, right? CHARIOT. So until today, until we study about the Buddha teaching, particularly the Madhyamaka school, we always believe, or the body, or the mind, the feeling is a person. This is what we call, self-grasping. We have a grasping the body as a person. Right? So this means exactly we designated the coil rope as a snake. Also we ourselves designated, our body as a me. Is a mistaken. So what does mean, me, and how we should recognize me? We are not studying about other persona. You just you try to recognize, yourself. You try to recognize you. Your body is not you. Your mind is not you. Without the body, mind, you cannot establish you. Right? Each of the five aggregates not you. You are not of the five aggregates. Without them, you cannot establish. So that means me, me only designated, human being only merely designated based on the human five aggregates. Right? So when you do meditate on emptiness of the me, meditating on emptiness of the me, mean me is merely designated based on five aggregates. I'm not really exist independently. I merely exist dependently. Exist merely depend on my five aggregates. That means now you can see me merely designated me. Right? That means when you think now I am having my breakfast. Now I am the I. As two kinds of I. One I merely designated based on five aggregates. This I, the merely designated I, is the conventional I. The independent I is a I which is we need to negate. Also we name negation. Negation of emptiness of I. That means when you say I am doing something, that time, that moment, there's a I. I. Therefore, I and mine, I. Now, do you understand the meaning of I? There's a two concept. One is the negation. We need to negate through reasoning, which is the independent I, essentially existent I, ultimately existent I, we need to negate. Mean it cannot is negate. It doesn't mean you're peeling skin. No. You remember the negation. You cannot negate as destroying like a pot with a hammer, right? So we need to negate the negation based on logics. How we negate mean you need to recognize I. The I is not really be there as an independent I. So you need to negate the independent I, not the conventional I. What does mean I? Then second, mind. These are very confusing kind of words, even though if you study in Tibetan language, also it's very confusing if you really don't, study very precisely. Because in Tibetan Umar like this, the Chandra Kirti middle way say, Nga, Tangbo Nga, Tangbo Ngaje Dala Jengyu Nga. Second, the key. The means mind. The key. Meaning me. What's the me mean? The I, the me, what I'm thinking, I'm doing something. I'm reading a book. That time, there's an I. This is what we call I. Mind mean when I say, oh, this is my. This is my. When I say, this is my thing, right? For example, this is my book. Right? When you say, this is my book, that moment, there's an I, which is possess the book. This is my book. This is mean you're talking about the book. This is my book. That time, there's an I, which is possess the book. This I we call mine. Right? I'm a monk. Or you can say, I'm a teacher. I'm a student. That moment, there's an I we call I. This is my book. This is my house. That moment, there's an I, which is possess the book, which is possess the car, which is possess the house. This I will say mine, because the I possessing something. Therefore, please you should not confuse between I and mine. The book is not mine. This is my book. It's not the mine. Mine is the I, which is possess the book. Right? Therefore, ignorance is a true, ignorance of the phenomena, ignorance of the like being or self. The self are true ignorance of me and mine. Therefore, when you say, I am a teacher, that if you apprehend the I as an independent I, this is a negation. You need to reject, you need to negate. Actually, the reality I is merely designated based on the 5 aggregates. Right? Second, say, this is my book. That time, there's I, which is possess the book. The book is not mine. It's my book, not the mine. Mine is the I, which is possess the book. Also, the I, which is possess the book, also merely designated based on the 5 aggregates as a human being, right? 5 aggregates. So, since today, when you reflect about you, me, I, those are actually you need to think, it's just merely designated in a snake based on the coil rope. So me, I exist based on 5 aggregates. Based on the 5 aggregates, I am designated as a I. I cannot be the part of the body. I cannot be the mind. I cannot be the feeling. Without them, I cannot be exist. Therefore, when you study, I ask you to read in a few pages, the CHARIOT not exist independently. Then they analyze with the 7 points. 7 points. Please you read about the 7 points. Therefore, here look at mutual dependency is the play of deception. Just merely this is how we should understand. That means things not established objectively. I mean, none of the phenomena, exists from the only, from the object side. From the object side. If phenomena exist from the object side, then you need to analyze. If the things, for example, chariot or car, the car exists from the object side, then when you analyze part by parts, you need to find, you need to, pinpoint, oh, this is the car. So when you look closely, none of the parts of the car can be car. You cannot say this is a car. The wheel cannot be car. The engine, steering, any of the parts cannot be car. Right? Therefore, dependency. The mutual dependency is the play of deception. Just merely, this is how we should understand the mutually dependency, mean emptiness and ultimate phenomena and conventional phenomena are dependence generally. Second, emptiness of the mind and the mind. These two are dependency, interdependence. The mind depends on emptiness of the mind. Emptiness of the mind is depend on the mind, right? Therefore, emptiness and the emptiness of the mind is the interdependent, exactly interdependence. So, if you really realize, oh, emptiness and the mind of the emptiness are interdependence, that means you really understood emptiness. Here I said, the mutual dependency is the play of deception. Deception means there's dependency is play of arising the phenomena, establishing the phenomena, deceiving the phenomena. Just merely this is how we should understand. The next one, another important, the 7th stanza. Not finding the Father we sought is in fact the finding of Mother. And the Father is found on the mother's lap, L-A-P, lap. This is how the kind parents saved me. The children I am told. First line, not finding the Father when sought is in fact the finding of Mother. Right? What does it mean? Not finding the Father. Father referred to the basis. Again, for example, What is this? This is a cup. Cup. The cup itself refer to the basis or refer to the father. Father means the cup. Based on this cup, father is cup. Based on my hand is like a father. It's a conventional phenomena, it's a basis. So when you analyze about the cup, generally, conventionally, worldly, what is this? This is a cup. I'm not saying cup is cup. Doesn't make sense. This is a cup. This, the phenomena, the things we designate it as a cup. Clear? We designate it as a cup. But for us, cup means the cup exists objectively for us. Then, when you analyze, where's the cup? Which one is cup? Which one is cup? This is a cup? No, this is a handle of the cup. This is not a cup. So then the upper part. This is the upper part of the cup. This is not a cup. This is the lower part of the cup, or a cup. So when you analyze this cup, finally, you cannot really find the cup. This means not finding the father, right? Not finding the father when sought is, in fact, finding of the mother. Through analyze, finally you really think, oh, there's not such as a cup there. Such a cup means you almost realize the mother, which is emptiness. That means emptiness can be found based on analyzing the basis, analyzing the conventional phenomena. That means how emptiness can be established based on the conventional phenomena, right? Or based on the basis. The second line is another, and the father is not found on the father is found on the mother lap. Mean you can establish the basis, the cup, based on emptiness. Emptiness can be established based on the conventional phenomena. But this means father refer to the basis, mother refer to the emptiness of the cup, and the father is found on the mother's lap. Mean the conventional phenomena exist, established within the emptiness, mother lap. That is how a kind parents, right, save me. Mean when we realize the conventional phenomena established based on the emptiness. Emptiness established based on the conventional phenomena, that means you really realize emptiness. That means you save the kind parents, save me, their children, I'm told, right? So these are, I think, very simple words, quite easy to understand about the emptiness, how we should realize emptiness, how we establish emptiness, how we establish conventional phenomena within the emptiness. So that means two truths, emptiness and the conventional truths are one coin has two sides, exactly like that. Not finding the father when sought is, in fact, the finding of the mother. And the father is found on the mother's lap. This is how the kind parents said me. their children, I'm told. It seems that my brother's mirror reflect ungrub's mother face, which is neither one nor multiple. Yet a helpless one like me had no idea of it. The sentence, the number 8, the stanza number 8, it taught me how we should realize emptiness as ordinary beings. It seems that my brother's mirror reflects ungrubs my mother face, which is neither one nor multiple. That means based on dependent arising, you're going to realize based on the conceptual mind. It's a mirror, right? It seems that my brother's mirror, means the brother is dependent arising is the logics. After you use the logics, then first you think, oh, this must be emptiness. That means you are realizing emptiness through the conceptual thoughts, the conceptual mind. That the conceptual mind has the mental image, right? So therefore, dependent arising. The dependent arising. It seems that my brother's mirror reflect ungrabs my mother face. Therefore, as a beginner, as an ordinary being, without relying on the conceptual mind, we cannot realize emptiness. First, we need to use the logic, have a guess, study more precisely. Finally, you have a very strong conviction. Oh, this is the emptiness. Right? That moment, the mind which realized emptiness is the conceptual mind. Realize emptiness based on the mental imaginary, the mental image. But so I thought these are quite easy to understand. When we use the Lamrim, it's a very vast, it's a lot of explanation, so difficult to understand. Okay, we have a half hour. Why not we can have some discussion? Also, if you any of a question, if you got a question, please feel free to ask question.
Yeah, Dharma brother and sisters, if you have any questions, you feel free to unmute yourself, or you can type in the chat window. All right, so I think Christine.
Geshe-la,
Yes.
can you explain this phrase? Emptiness and the emptiness of the mind are interdependent. Thank you.
Okay, this is very important to know. What Buddha's, what Dharma Kirtis, Chandra Kirtis said. No. Jan Japa said, we should not, discriminate. We should not discriminate, or we should not have a, distant and close mind towards the two truths. For us, we thought confessional truth is not so important. Ultimate truth is very important. We have a, like a close and distant, mind towards the two truths. He said the two truths, we need to practice the unanimally together. right? When he say, the true truth we practice unanimely, we think the true truth is totally two separate phenomena. No. True truth, we always need to talk based on something. For example, again, the cup. The true truth of the cup, the conventional truths, ultimate truth. The cup is said is a conventional truth. Then emptiness of the cup, means the cup which is totally empty of inherent existence is the ultimate. That means based on the cup, the true truth is just one entity, right? Two different oscillation different, other, the thing is same. For example, when I say I'm human being, is oscillate from non-human being. Second, when I say I'm a monk, is oscillate from non-monk. When you look at me, you cannot see there's a 2%. That you cannot see there's totally 2%. 1% has a two different oscillation. Due to oscillation from non-human being, I'm human. Oscillation from non-monk, then I'm a monk. Just one entity has a two different oscillation. It doesn't mean two is total two. That means mind, emptiness of the mind is a interdependency. Very important. First, how we should realize emptiness of the mind. How? In order to realize emptiness of the mind, if we pray, pray to Buddha for millions of billions of years, definitely we cannot recognize emptiness of the mind. In order to realize emptiness of the mind, first we need to know the mind. We need to reflect on the mind. Then I said, when you reflect the mind, based on the mind, you need a question. You need to ask a question: how the mind is exist dependently, independently, based on the mind. If you think the mind exists independently, then is against with a lot of logics and reasoning. Then slowly you think, yeah, the mind is dependent. Mean the mind is empty of independent existence. You're talking about the mind. How the mind exists, right? Therefore, when you realize, the mind is empty of independent existence, therefore you realize emptiness of the mind based on the mind. Therefore, the emptiness of the mind depends on the mind. Without mind, you cannot say this is the emptiness of the mind, right? Therefore, the emptiness of the mind depends on the mind. The mind is the basis. Based on the mind, you realize the true nature of the mind, which is emptiness. Therefore, emptiness is depend on the mind. It's quite easy to understand. Second, how the mind is dependent on emptiness of the mind. Emptiness of the mind. Because the mind nature is empty of inherent existence, right? Therefore, the mind has the function to arise. The mind has a function to aware. The mind has a function to realize something. Therefore, within the emptiness, you need to establish mind. Within the emptiness, the mind has a function. Therefore, the mind is depend on the emptiness of mind. The emptiness of mind is depend on the mind. When you say they are interdependent, it doesn't mean mind and emptiness of mind is a totally two separate phenomena. They are depend each other, like children and mother. The children depend on mother depend on the children. But there's two different phenomena depend each other. Emptiness of the mind of the emptiness are not look like father, mother, and child. Right? Therefore, one entity, two different isolation. Therefore, so you think that way, how the mind and emptiness of the mind are interdependent.
So Geshe-la, my statement just now is not correct when I say emptiness and the emptiness of the mind are interdependent. It should be mind and the emptiness of the mind are interdependent.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Correct.
Yeah, clear now. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Any question?
So far, not yet. Maybe everyone is contemplating.
You are contemplating, time is moving. Okay.
But Geshe-la, today's topic about this mind and emptiness is such a tough topic to understand.
Yes, this I told you, beginning of the wisdom chapter, I still, urging all of you, the topic is difficult. Yes, I told you there are three reasons. Reason number one, the language. We never used before, negation, negate. Oh, so difficult to understand. We are not familiar with the words. Number two, the concept emptiness is a very unique concept. Most important cause we don't understand because we don't have enough really merit to go deeper about the emptiness. Therefore, when you reflect about emptiness, yes, you feel very difficult. But suddenly you just visualize Manjushri and pray to Manjushri to illuminates your mind for realizing emptiness. You do recitation, you do prostration, you make mandal offering to Manjushri only for realizing emptiness. Therefore, many practitioners, I think many of you attend teaching from Lama Zopa Rinpoche or other Rinpoche. So when somebody giving teaching, while giving teaching, sometimes they act very differently. Right? So they are changing their practice. For example, Lama Marba, Milareva, when they are doing meditation, suddenly, they arose from meditation state, go around, do recitation, suddenly, making soul offering, because they notice, oh, there's obstacle. I need to clarify. I need to, clear. So, all of you, please don't, become very discouraged. Just should not close the Lamrim and books. Open Lamrim book and pray to Manjushri, pray to Buddhas and Bodhisattva for wishing for realizing emptiness. Is also helpful. For example, His Holiness Lama said, sometimes when you do meditation, usually your meditation is okay. Sometimes you cannot really do meditation. Still, you just forcing yourself to do meditation. It doesn't work. You see, then you just get up, do exercise, do some chanting recitation, and sit again, meditation posture, do meditation again. So therefore, we also do in the same way. Yeah, it's not easy because of language, because of the concept is deep, and third, we don't have a really enough merit or to realize emptiness. Also, what Buddha said, Nagarjuna said, even though when you think about emptiness, even though you don't understand anything about emptiness, when you think, when you reflect on emptiness, the ignorant become weaker. Even when you think, when you reflect, the root of the samsara become weaker. So, please, should not be discouraged. So we will discuss continuously next few classes. Then I think next Saturday, I will go through little bit few pages from I think some of you already bought this book, Illuminating the Intended by Lama Tsong-kha-pa. I think if you can buy the soft copy, not the book, right? But you cannot really take care. You don't have space to put the books. You can just buy the soft copy, and we study a little bit in a few pages about identify the object of negation. Because I read this book, English book, yesterday and today, then I thought it's more easy to understand. So we will use. Also, I feel it's much easy because Tuddha Jimba translate very, the simple way, the very, very Tibetan way. So I think it's a better book to understand emptiness. So we use this book for next Sunday or few Sunday. If you don't want to buy, so also okay. I send you the picture of the book. Then you can use in your laptop or your phone. Okay? No question, right?
Yeah, so far not yet.
Okay.
Geshe, could you repeat the name of the book?
Illuminating intended of the intent. Yeah. Illuminating the intent. Lama Tsong-kha-pa, translated by Thupten Jimba. This is really, very, very important book written by Lama Tsong-kha-pa. It's very, easy to understand and also very ordered. Then next, the program number 9. Based on the instructions sent through the wind by Nagarjuna and Chandrakirti, which Manjushri Graf has sent at the birth to the space it on. I hope to see the accompanying of the old mothers. This is saying by this writer, This means for us again, we are also really, we are very, very fortunate. We are very lucky. Because Buddha Shakyamuni taught, like 84,000 teachings. Then Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti, Buddha Balida, Aryadeva, Shantideva, they put a lot of effort for many years. They practice, they study, finally they put all the meanings together in the treatise, particularly Nagarjuna 5 treatise. Even though when we read, any of the Nagarjuna's treatise is so difficult, then, Lama Tsong-kha-pa, he really, did a very clear commentary on the Nagarjuna books, like a Nagarjuna Treatise, Chandrakirti Treatise, and it's become very clear. That means Nagarjuna, Ayadeva, they really taught important teachings for everybody. Then importantly, in Tibet, Lama Tsong-kha-pa fully understood their intent, and he wrote these books, right? Now we are very lucky to all these books, all the important books are available in English, Chinese, Tibetan, in other languages. Therefore, we really feel, I'm very lucky to have this opportunity. And also, in order to understand emptiness, I say you no need to read a lot of books. You really need serious reflection, how things exist. Always give a lot of reflection about how things exist. Then very easy to understand. Therefore, Manjushri referred to the Lama Tsong-kha-pa. So he sent a bird in the sky. He catch up all the meaning of Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti, everything he written in the this treatise. So these are very important. So today we can stop our class here because it's talking too much is no point. Most important, you really need to understand. Understanding is not easy. Please don't be discouraged. Don't give up. And also I want to say, yesterday I think around 2:30, somebody dropped like a few books, the Dharma books involved the TBC. Actually, I cannot recognize exactly who is the person. So actually, I noticed is one of our Dharma friends. So if any of you, don't want the Dharma books, please don't drop TBC. If you don't want, you must clear yourself. Don't bring in TBC. Okay, so they just drop the books in front of the TBC. I saw the CC camera. I cannot recognize what I don't want to say, right? So if you don't want books, Dharma, of course you have a lot of Dharma books. If you don't want, then you bring to the the paper recycle place. Ask them directly, recycle the books. If you throw the book in the recycle bins, then the books remain there for a few weeks without all the other trash. Sometimes there are a lot of food I can throw there. I saw. So the books, if you don't want, you check where you can have the paper recycle area company. You directly bring them, ask the person, just directly put the recycle machine. Then the paper, within a few seconds, the paper really become book become total paper. So please don't bring to TBC. Okay. That's all to say. Then also, yes.
No, carry on, no problem.
Okay. Also, during the Medicine Buddha Puja, I asked you to recite, 30,000 Mani Padme for long life puja for His Holiness Dalai Lama. So, any of you follow His Holiness Dalai Lama, please recite Mani Padme 30,000 until 6th of July. Then that day, so you dedicate all the merit you have been accumulating for like 10 days. Then you can offer as a long life, like things to live long life. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So please recite, Mani Padme 30,000. When you recite Mani Padme, you can visualize, all over the Shora, Shora in front. Then just in front of the Shora, you can visualize His Holiness Dalai Lama. Then you can recite the Mani Padme 30,000. Yeah. So thank you so much for attending the Saturday class. The topic is not easy. Please should not be discouraged. Please don't stop to studying to study the emptiness is very important. Otherwise, we just become, our practice become not important. So try to understand emptiness, reflect on the particular phenomena, try to understand, try to realize emptiness. If you really cannot realize emptiness, at least you try to understand how things exist. It really have you to control your anger, attachment, desire. When you're able to control your anger, attachment, then you really, you can have a lot of inner happiness. Also, recent research study in Singapore has a really, high cases of, like almost suicide. So if you're able to control your anger, attachment, hatred, it stop, the common suicide. Also, you can teach your brother and sister, you can teach your, like relatives how to be positive, how to control negative thoughts, how to cultivate positive thoughts. Then, the common suicide number is going to be reduced. So it is so important to study, not just recitation, chanting, study, make a reflection. Thank you so much. Attend the class. At the end, we do the dedication prayers. First, we dedicate the merit of becoming Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Yawa gundo yanda lama dande me juge bala longju sadan langye yande rabzon doje change go banyu do shu. Second, we dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly your family, your friends, also who need, blessing and protection. So dedicate the merit for benefit all sentient beings. Jede yambe yavan danje do mine june zade madru muge goba gunje sirin me de ye dembar sho. Thank you so much and have a happy weekend. Thank you.
Okay,